As you know, there are lots of different transportation projects here in Indian country, each with their own unique challenges. As a reservation's community and industry grows, so does the need for safe and adequate roadways. Simply building roads and bridges to accommodate new development, though, isn't enough. New transportation projects need to plan for the future and take into account safety, environmental impact, effect on economic development, fiscal responsibility, and the needs of growing and aging populations. Look, transportation systems are complex, costly, and they involve an intricate collaboration of overlapping governmental jurisdictions, each with its own set of priorities and procedures. Tribal-based transportation planners have even more challenges specific to their situation. They often have limited resources, information, and community input. The tools and techniques of transportation planning are useful in addressing these challenges and improving the quality of life for Indian community residents. That's why the Bureau of Indian Affairs and the U.S. Department of Transportation came together to produce the Reservation Road Planner game. Let's get started. A successful road project must go through 5 stages. You'll see these stages listed on your game board. As we play the game, we'll work through each one. Stage 1. Developed Plan. In this stage, planners must begin to involve the public in the process, make them aware of their community's transportation needs and their plans for addressing them. They must establish stakeholder groups, consult state, local, and federal agencies, get approval from the Tribal Planning Commission and Tribal Council, and conduct a safety audit. Stage 2. IRR, or Indian Reservation Roads, Inventory. Now the planner must conduct traffic counts, a roadway condition analysis, create road segment maps, get approval from the Tribal Council, transmit to the BIA Regional Office, and establish connectivity. The IRR Inventory is a comprehensive database of all transportation facilities eligible for IRR program funding by tribe, reservation, BIA agency and region, congressional district, state, and county. Each tribe must update their inventory annually. Stage 3. Funding. The tribe may apply to numerous federal, state, and local sources for funding for road projects. Project funding may be delayed or rejected for numerous reasons, from past deadlines to a missing signature. Often these delays and rejections add additional costs to the project. Many projects are abandoned completely when faced with funding challenges. Navigating the funding process is key to the success of a project. Stage 4. Pre-construction. Before construction can begin, there are several steps, such as permitting, cultural review through the THPO, or Tribal Historical Preservation Office, purchasing right-of-way, environmental assessment, planning, specification and estimates, or PS&E, bidding the project and selecting a contractor, and gaining approval from the council. Stage 5. Construction. In order to begin construction, the approved plan and PS&E must be signed by a professional engineer. The tribe must also coordinate with construction management and then oversee the actual construction and final inspection and approval. To win the Reservation Road Planner game, the players must successfully navigate their way through all 5 stages and complete their project on time and within budget. It's trickier than it sounds. Now, let's talk about how we play the game. First, players must select one person to assume the role of the banker and be responsible for handling the money for each player's project. The eldest player goes first, drawing 2 project cards. The other players do the same, starting with the player to the left of the eldest. Players choose one of their project cards to play with, place their marker in the corresponding spot on the game board, and roll the dice to see how much money they start with.
Members of the Tribal Equestrian Club have claimed that the reservation doesn't have adequate horse trails. For this, the Tribal Council wishes to construct a new 2.5-mile horse trail. The trail site is located in an open space and forestry zone. The project is expected to cost $850,000 to complete.
Tribal members have petitioned the Tribal Council to pave the narrow gravel road leading to the community park rec area. The Tribal Council agrees that the road should be both widened and paved. The road is located in a shoreline zone. The project is expected to cost $1.2 million to complete.
Tribal Council would like to expand the airstrip to allow for large aircraft. In order to improve access to the airport, the connector road must first be expanded to accommodate an additional lane in each direction. The property is located in the Commercial C and Open Space OS zone. The project is expected to cost $1.5 million.
When everyone has selected their project and received their initial funding, it's time to move through the 5 project stages. Each player begins at Stage 1. On your turn, draw a developed plan category card and read the directions to see what steps are required to complete this stage. Expect complications to develop with your project. The Tribal Council may vote down your plan because it doesn't adequately address parking. It would call for the demolition of historic buildings, or due to budgeting constraints. These and other challenges will cost you time and money in the planning stage. You must pay the required amount to the banker, or the pot, as outlined on the card, and then wait until your next turn to draw another category card and attempt to complete this stage. Congratulations! Your card indicates that you've completed the development stage for your project. You've successfully built stakeholder groups, fulfilled the functions between state, local, and federal agencies, secured approval from the Tribal Planning Commission and Tribal Council, and completed a traffic safety audit. Now, draw an option card and follow the directions to advance to the next stage. At the end of stages 1 through 4, players must draw an option card and follow the directions before advancing to the next stage. Depending on the roll of the dice, the outcome could be a boon or a costly delay. Place a traffic cone on the board next to your playing piece to indicate you've completed stage 1. What if I run out of money? If you lose all your money at any point during the game, you can get more from the banker. You must wait until your next turn, and then roll doubles on the dice. Hey, sometimes it takes several rounds before you can fund your project. Once you roll doubles, you will receive $10,000 times the sum of both dice. For example, 2 5s equals $100,000. You then return to stage 3, the funding stage, and start over from there. Can't I advance more quickly? Sure. Some category cards offer you the option to hire an outside agency to complete the current stage of your project.
Well, it says here that I can pay $200,000 to hire an outside agency, so I think I'll do that.
This option will allow you to advance to the next stage more quickly. However, it can be costly, and you can only choose this option if you have the funds to cover it. Keep in mind, this option is not available during stages 3 and 5, funding and construction. Don't think the deck is stacked against you. Sometimes luck is on your side in the category card deck. If you draw a player's roll category card, follow the directions on the card, and with a lucky roll of the dice, you might win money from the banker. On your next turn, you'll have the option of using this money to hire an outside agency and complete your current stage. Drawing a player's choice category card allows you to place additional project costs on another player. You may use this card immediately, or save it for another turn when it would be more advantageous. Beware the Sasquatch. Each reservation board contains a Sasquatch nest.
During the night, a Sasquatch drove the project steamroller into the construction site, destroying weeks' worth of work. That sounds like a hairy predicament.
At any stage in the game, this furry menace can scare workers, break equipment, and destroy important documents, costing your project time and money.
Now I have to go back to stage 4.
Whether it's a Sasquatch, a computer virus, or a flood or some other act of nature, such costly delays are not uncommon, and a reservation planner must be prepared to deal with them as effectively as possible. The first player to successfully navigate through all 5 stages and complete his or her project wins the game. But everyone who plays the Reservation Road Planner game will gain a better understanding of what goes into road planning on a reservation. Safe, well-planned roads add to the well-being of the entire tribe, and strategic road planning saves time and money, and helps preserve the land for generations to come.